they were continuing to read The Brothers Karamazov. I waited for an opportunity and succeeded in insulting my rival in the presence of a large company. I insulted him on a perfectly extraneous pretext, jeering at his opinion upon an important public event. It was in the year 1826, and my jeer was, so people said, clever and effective. Then I forced him to ask for an explanation, and behaved so rudely that he accepted my challenge in spite of the vast inequality between us, as I was younger, a person of no consequence, and of inferior rank. I learned afterwards, for a fact, that it was from a jealous feeling on his side also that my challenge was accepted. He had been rather jealous of me on his wife's account before their marriage. He fancied now that if he submitted to be insulted by me and refused to accept my challenge, and if she heard of it, she might begin to despise him and waver in her love for him. I soon found a second in a comrade, an ensign of our regiment. In those days, though duels were severely punished, yet dueling was a kind of fashion among the officers. So strong and deeply rooted will a brutal prejudice sometimes be. It was the end of June, and our meeting was to take place at 7 o'clock the next day on the outskirts of the town. And then something happened that in very truth was the turning point of my life. In the evening, returning home in a savage and brutal humor, I flew into a rage with my orderly Afanasy, and gave him 2 blows in the face with all my might, so that it was covered with blood. He had not long been in my service, and I had struck him before, but never with such ferocious cruelty. And, believe me, though it's 40 years ago, I recall it now with shame and pain. I went to bed and slept for about 3 hours. When I waked up, the day was breaking. I got up. I did not want to sleep anymore. I went to the window, opened it. It looked out upon the garden. I saw the sun rising. It was warm and beautiful. The birds were singing. What's the meaning of it? I thought. I feel in my heart as it were something vile and shameful. Is it because I am going to shed blood? No, I thought. I feel it's not that. Can it be that I'm afraid of death? Afraid of being killed? No, that's not it. That's not it at all. And all at once I knew what it was. It was because I had beaten Afanasy the evening before. It all rose before my mind. It all was, as it were, repeated over again. He stood before me, and I was beating him straight on the face, and he was holding his arms stiffly down, his head erect, his eyes fixed upon me, as though on parade. He staggered at every blow and did not even dare to raise his hands to protect himself. That is what a man has been brought to, and that was a man beating a fellow creature. What a crime! It was as though a sharp dagger had pierced me right through. I stood as if I were struck dumb, while the sun was shining, the leaves were rejoicing, and the birds were trilling the praise of God. I hid my face in my hands, fell on my bed, and broke into a storm of tears. And then I remembered my brother Markel, and what he said on his deathbed to his servants. My dear ones, why do you wait on me? Why do you love me? Am I worth your waiting on me? Yes, am I worth it? Flashed through my mind. After all, what am I worth? That another man, a fellow creature, made in the likeness and image of God, should serve me. For the first time in my life, this question forced itself upon me. He had said, Mother, my little heart, in truth, we are each responsible to all, for all. It's only that men don't know this. If they knew it, the world would be a paradise at once. And that's the end of the reading for today. Have a good day.